Dragon Den. This is a J Dragon production, and I like to appreciate everybody that sits right there and watches this video. Thank you so much, and I also like you to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button for every video I lay down. Now, I'm just going to listen to this and all this music and see this good stuff that I've done over the years. I appreciate y'all. Alright, today this is J Dragon. I'm using OxiClean to sit right there and clean this Air Force Ones. And I'm trying to bring them back to life. So right now, I'd like to welcome you to the Dragon Den. And thank you for watching. And I'm just going over the shoe. I'm using the eraser for the soles and the bottoms. I'm using the Angelus brush for the top of the shoes. It's about mid-range, and I'm going to sit right there and use this wire brush, copper wire brush, to hit the bottom of it to get the gunk off the bottom of the shoes and make them look right best I can. So I'm going to clean it up just as much as I can. So right now I'm going to do the inside. So I start off with a soft brush, then I start off with the medium, then I sit right there and go back and forth. Do it about like 3 or 4 times to sit right there and get as many of the stains as I could out. I used the OxiClean from the bot that I was using, and then I used it from the spray, and I sprayed it on like 2 or 3 times. It helps with getting rid of stains, and it works good at getting the cloth and stuff clean on shoes. So right now I'm getting it prepped and ready for to go in the washing machine. Right now I'm getting my siphon and feed brush, and I'm putting dye in it. That way I can spray the inside, and the cloth would be with suede dye is what I'm using right then. So I'm taping up the bottom of this so I don't get none of the suede dye on the bottom of the shoe and make it look bad, which would make it look bad. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we're gonna sit right there and we're gonna turn the inside gray. Now sometimes I would sit right there and use that with too soft and spray it in there, but sometimes it'll make it scratchy feeling. So I wanted to try it this way with suede dye, and I'm using a Q-tip to go over the sides of it to make it easier. That way I don't get no dye on the leather as much. So I'm also going to do this with the red dye too. It's red suede dye. It's all suede dye. I am not going to use any leather on dye on cloth because sandpaper again. Anyway, I'm not saying that too soft is wrong. It's just I wanted to try something different to see what it would do. So anyway, I'm trying a eraser and fingernail polish remover to sit right there and just give it some bite to it. So I'm going over the swish to get some of the red off. That way I know it would still be flat, but I'm coming over it with my little sander that's the size of a toothbrush, which I am very happy I found this thing, and I did a video on it. If y'all want to check that out, it's in one of the videos. And if I just went over the shoe, and then now I'm going back over the paint. I wanted to sand it down a little bit so it'll have some grip for the paint to bite onto. That way it holds on to the shoe just a little bit more. So originally they wanted the shoes to be just about all black and then put Alabama on it, the little tag. So what I did was I switched it up and I put some red in it for the swoosh, and red on the back and red on the tongue. So everything else is mostly black and gray, and that's basically what I did to the shoe. Mostly I use suede dye because it works just as well as doing too soft and all that. That's the stencil that I was using. I know that went a little too fast, so what I sit right there and did was I put the negative of the stencil on the shoe, and then started painting it gray, and then I sit right here and went with tons and tons of coats and hit it as many times as I could to dry the paint up, because I wanted the stencil to stay on it. So that's why I started using the heat gun so it helps stick onto it more. But be careful, because even the air would sit right there and basically make it fly up. So be careful, because you could get some leakage on the sides of the stencil and it can mess you up. So just be careful with that if you know that. So right now I'm using my battery powered airbrush because I feel like that's what it's mostly made for. You're doing a little quick job and you're sitting right there. You don't need to sit right there and get your compressor and all that just to sit right there and do a little job on the shoe that you could just sit right there and do with this. Now you can also do it with a brush, but I feel like it's more even with the airbrush. And then taking the stencil off, it's going to take up some of the paint, so you're going to have to go back over and hit some places, and that's just the way it's going to be. So later on we're going to sit right there and take the we're going to sit right there and make it red. We're going to sit right there and hit the black and all the other places that we didn't hit right then and there. So basically we're going to make this shoe look popping and really good. And I really enjoyed painting this shoe, doing all the stuff to shoe, and it was just a real good shoe to work on. So if y'all would please like, share, and hit that notification button for every video I lay down. And I appreciate y'all for watching, and you can just listen to the rest of the video, and that's all I got, because this A is going to look good after I get done with it. Alright, appreciate y'all. This is what I got so far, and I'm sitting right there, and let me see, I dyed the inside with my suede dye. That way it won't be hard or anything like that. Even with the too soft, it will be a little stiffer, but not much. So we did it like that, and then I used my red dye to hit up the top right there, and then I did the check in red, and the rest of it mainly in black and gray. And then I repainted the bottoms white, which they seem to be collecting up some dust and dirt on it now, which I don't get, but okay. So anyway, I think they look good. I took a lot of time doing the shoestrings to get them white as I can from the shoestrings, and that's the best I did so far. And tell me what y'all think. If y'all like them, like, subscribe, hit that notification button, make sure that you hit the bell for every video I lay down, and I'll try and get more stuff like this out for y'all. I appreciate you. Thank y'all.